This was definitely a film that was made. And I guess now we know which brother's the better director. It's kind of mean, but it's also kind of true. The Smashing Machine is based on the life and the struggles of one Mark Kerr, the original MMA superstar, and this was meant to be the vehicle with which The Rock would hopefully get his first Oscar nomination. Was he nominated?
No.
Okay, fuck you. But fair.
Thank you. Now, The Smashing Machine could have been good. In fact, some parts really are. Anything in the ring is solid, and I genuinely respect Dwayne The Rock Johnson for committing to the realism and not using a stunt double. He actually did get injured while filming some of the fight scenes in this film. My respect in that aspect. You can also see the physical transformation he went through, along with the physical prospects and the physical prosthetics and all the makeup. This movie has some really good bones, but a lot of the runtime is spent on scenes that feel not pointless, but lack impact on the overall story of the film. Now look, let me be clear, I'm not the type of guy who wants to cut fat from a movie, but it needs to serve a purpose. I like movies when they're, longer, right? I really enjoyed John Wick Chapter 4. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes. There's a lot of scenic shots that you could cut, but I prefer the longer shots, if they serve a purpose. There's a scene in this where Mark and Dawn, played by Emily Blunt, argue over her not turning like cactus, and it goes nowhere. Maybe it was meant to instill the fact that how he feels he always has to do everything around the house, but I feel like there's other ways that they could have done this. There's a scene where Mark talking about how sensitive his tummy is, and I mean, are they trying to make him a sympathetic giant? Because it doesn't really come off that way, or it doesn't work that way, or Dwayne can't play a sympathetic giant. I think they were scared of making Mark look unsympathetic, when in reality, they stopped him from being a three-dimensional character or a person. There are bones and elements here for a better movie, instead of it ending with The Rock laughing in a shower after he loses a fight. There's a combination of issues going on. Dwayne acted very restrained, but we never really see him unhinged. To make his sobriety matter, we should have seen him desperate. We never saw him go through the symptoms of withdrawal or being in pain, so why did he need the painkillers? Or maybe we should have seen the first time he became addicted to the painkillers and how it helped him. We should have seen stuff like that. I felt like there was a timber underneath the surface, but we never really saw him restraining himself. It always just seemed like he was existing and had thoughts of anger from time to time. The director, I don't know if it's because he was working with the limitations of dealing with Dwayne, or, and this is my thought, the problem was Mark Kerr himself, who was involved. And, I mean, it makes sense that you don't want to put the worst version of yourself out there in the world. You want to show your best version, even at your lowest points. But it resulted in a film lacking quite a bit of teeth. Now, try this. Did you know that 10 days after Dawn gets out of rehab and after the Grand Prix lost, the part at the very end, they got married in Vegas. And after that, he fought the Russian dude who had taken him to a no contest earlier in the film. Remember earlier in the film how he protests one of his losses and he gets changed? He fights him again later on. The movie ended too soon and with the wrong angle. Rerouting the story of Mark is undefeated, but they're still having money troubles. And he and Dawn are constantly fighting about stupid things. It's a volatile relationship. Something more akin to Goodfellas. How Ray Liotta's character and the wife, how they were toxic for one another. Go down that route. We could have also had multiple scenes of maybe Mark strung out but making excuses how he needs the painkillers. And then he collapses and nearly dies, with us seeing the paramedics trying to keep him alive, a desperation moment. Because notice, we don't see it when he collapses. We just have Dawn on the phone, and that he's not okay and he's on the floor. But we don't see it happen. We don't see the desperation. We don't see the paramedics trying to keep him alive. It's very closed, if that makes sense. He collapses, nearly dies, and then there's the breakdown, which is not a bad scene in the hospital when he breaks down with his friend. But then we see Mark kicking the drugs, going to rehab, going through the withdrawal symptoms, the shakes, the sweats, crying, the vomiting, having to be restrained because I just need to take the edge off. Things like that. Have him in group therapy sessions where they teach him to have accountability, with a therapist telling Mark, you're the reason why this happened. You need to take accountability for yourself. Oh, I just need the drugs. It doesn't matter why you're trying to justify it. You're the reason why you're on the drugs. And you need to be the reason why you get off them. and holding Mark accountable. Now, could The Rock have maybe acted through these scenes? I think he could have. I think he's that good of an actor, at the very least, to go through the rehab portion of this film. Have him struggle but fight through it. Stop playing victim, but instead a man struggling to find his confidence and accountability. And then the film goes to him entering the Grand Prix, and he suffers his first loss. He spirals. Maybe he should go back on the drugs. Maybe he was only a good fighter when he was on them. But then he gets back with Dawn, and they get married. He then trains for a rematch with the Russian, but then he questions himself. Can he do this without the drugs? He wins that fight, and the film's last scene is he and Emily Blunt at the hospital when she gives birth to their one and only child, a son. The last part should have been Kerr holding his kid while looking out the window and saying, "I promise you'll be a better man than me." That would have been an amazing ending. And there you go, that was a better story. And sure, maybe Mark wasn't that addicted to drugs, but it's fucking Hollywood. Let them embellish a little bit. And this movie is, maybe it would have been a little more cliche, but such a roller coaster ride maybe would have gotten Dwayne the nomination and maybe even a win. The problem was that he needed to show more range, and this film frankly played it very conservative and safe, and I don't say that lightly. There's not a lot of films that I can say hard edits would have made a huge difference, but this film, there's a much better story in there. For some reason though, they didn't want to tell it. I don't know if they don't want to or Mark wouldn't let them. Either way, this film, for me at least, it's a 4 out of 10. It's very disappointing. It's the definition of wasted potential, especially when you know the actual story. It's a damn near just remake of the documentary. That said, what did you think of the Smashing Machine? Were you disappointed or did you like it? Why did you like it? Let us know down below. Really appreciate it. And we'll catch you on next time. See you.